You ever wake up to the sound of a tow truck trying to haul off a military tank? No, well, I have. And let me tell you that morning in Maple Glen will live rent-free in my head forever. It was just before 7 a.m. The sun barely up, birds chirping, and bam, this screeching metal sound cuts through the quiet like a chainsaw at a funeral. I look out my window, and there she is, Marjorie Hill, our resident HOA tyrant, standing in the middle of the cul-de-sac in a pink robe, waving her phone and pointing like she's commanding an army. And right across from her, a massive green 60-ton National Guard tank parked by the community park. She's yelling at this poor soldier young guy, probably fresh out of training and just screaming, "Oh, I don't care if it has a cannon." Like this was just some abandoned RV blocking her view of the rose bushes. Thing is, every house got a letter a week ago explaining the National Guard was doing a 2-day emergency drill. Totally above board, coordinated with the city. Tank parked here for 48 hours. Most folks thought it was cool. The kids loved it. Old vets felt proud. Someone even brought cookies to the little guard tent they'd set up, but not Marjorie. Oh no. She didn't read the letter, or pretended she didn't. She thought this was a full-scale invasion of her curated landscape. This is the same woman who fined my neighbor for having a wind chime that made too whimsical a sound. So yeah, to her, a military tank was the aesthetic equivalent of a dumpster fire on her Persian rug. So what does she do? She storms back into her house, comes out with her HOA clipboard, an iPad, and a bunch of tiny colored flags she uses to mark grass violations. Plants a red one by the tank tread, like she's declaring HOA war. Then starts filming a video for her newsletter, like she's Anderson Cooper reporting from a combat zone. The soldier Carter, I think his name was, keeps it cool. Says, "Ma'am, it's part of a state-mandated drill. It'll be gone in 2 days. It's not even operational." But Marjorie, she's not having it. She starts ranting about property values and civilian sovereignty. And then she calls a tow truck, says she'll pay triple if they come right now. 20 minutes later, this guy Luke rolls up in a beat-up flatbed, clearly expecting to tow a Buick, not a tank. Steps out, takes one look at the thing, and just says, "You gotta be kidding me." But Marjorie's already in his face. "Hook it up. I have a dinner party tonight. I won't have guests stepping over a war machine." And just when you think it can't get any wilder, enter Sergeant Ray Morales. This dude pulls up in a black SUV, sunglasses on, calm as a monk. Doesn't raise his voice, just asks for names documentation. Marjorie hands him a hand-drawn map of the neighborhood, with the tank circled and the word eyesore written in all caps. Sergeant doesn't flinch, just turns to Carter and says, "Log everything. Civilian interference." That's when the crowd starts forming neighbors in pajamas, kids eating cereal on the sidewalk. One guy even brought a drone. The whole block is now a popcorn-worthy circus. Marjorie, unfazed, says she's exercising her rights as a defender of community standards and waves around a stack of made-up HOA violation slips. Carter radios in again, probably asking if this counts as a training simulation or a reality show. Then comes the twist. Marjorie hires private security. Yeah, not a joke. This guy Chuck shows up an hour later in a wrinkled uniform shirt, mirrored shades, and a utility belt with zip ties and a flashlight. She tells him to take control of the tank. He marches up like he's in a superhero movie. Travis, the guardsman, intercepts him and says, "Sir, Please step back. Chuck puffs up and declares the tank under citizen impoundment authority. That's when Morales steps in. Doesn't yell, doesn't blink. Just gives Chuck one warning. Then another. Chuck doesn't budge, so the MPs escort him off the property like a kid caught sneaking into prom. No cuffs, no shouting, just pure, quiet humiliation. And Marjorie. She loses it again, starts yelling about the Constitution, deep state conspiracies, and demanding an apology from the governor. Not long after federal agents show up. Yeah, feds. Turns out when a civilian repeatedly interferes with a military drill, especially after being warned it gets flagged, they collect footage blog posts. Oh yeah, forgot to mention. Marjorie had started a blog called Front Yard Freedom, claiming she was being psychologically targeted by armored vehicles. The HOA, by this point, is in full-blown panic mode. They call an emergency meeting, strip Marjorie of her unofficial titles, and mail out a formal letter disavowing everything she did. Meanwhile, the tank stays unbothered, unmoved, like a giant metal middle finger parked right in front of her begonias. And just when you think it's over, another twist. A local TV crew shows up, one of those ambush interview types. They offer Marjorie a chance to share her side. She lights up like she's going to the Emmys, starts talking about her blog, her trauma, her fight for neighborhood dignity. But the reporter, he's not playing softball. He quotes her live streams, pulls out documents showing she had zero authority, plays the viral clip of her yelling "Tow it" like it's National Anthem Day. She tries to pivot, but it's too late. Neighbors start filming her getting filmed. Kids laugh. Even Carter cracks a smile from behind the tape. Marjorie storms off, red-faced, clutching her notepad like it's going to save her. 3 days later, the tank's gone loaded onto a transport truck. Drill completed. The guard thanks the neighborhood hosts, a farewell BBQ with food trucks and a bounce house. The mayor shows up. Everyone's having a great time. Except Marjorie. She's upstairs, behind a curtain holding a mug that says, HOA Queen, and watching the world move on without her. And the best part, a kid leaves a toy tank on her porch with a note that reads, "Still not towed." So yeah, 1 tank, 2 tow attempts, a fake security force, a federal warning, and a meme that'll probably outlive us all. And to think, it all started with brunch plans and a clipboard. But hey, what do you think? Was she protecting her peace or just spiraling out of control? Drop a comment below, tell us where you stand. And if your HOA's ever pulled something wild, you know what to do. Like, share, and spill the tea.